Alright, first things first, I want to thank Satoshi Matrix. I hope I didn't just butcher your name too badly, but it's because of him that I even know what this is. He posted a video last week showing this Super Mario Bros special, and of course that got my attention, and from there I wanted to play it for myself. If you've never checked out his videos, check them out. He shows a lot of rare gems for pretty much every console there is, especially RPGs and Famicom games, stuff like that. So, like I said, it's because of him that I even know what this is. Now, for everyone else who doesn't know what this is Super Mario Bros. Special hacked or ported to the NES. And what Super Mario Bros. Special is, it is a game that was developed by Hudson Soft in 1986. Now, this was done under license by Nintendo. They had Nintendo's permission to release a Super Mario Bros. Game for the NEC PC8801 and Sharp X1. These were 8-bit home computers that were only released in Japan, and therefore this game was only ever released in Japan. Now, the games didn't play as good as Super Mario Bros. Did on the NES. As you can see, the colors look a little strange. It obviously didn't have the same color palette as the NES, but also they didn't scroll. So if you can imagine trying to play a Super Mario Bros. Game where you walk to the right, but the screen doesn't scroll. You walk off the edge of the screen, and then the next screen pops into place. Obviously, that's crap. And that's in part why I think Nintendo let them release this in the first place. Super Mario Bros. Special on these Japanese PCs was by no means competition for Super Mario Bros. On the NES. If anything, it just made the NES look that much better. But it's kind of unique because this is the first really sequel to the original Super Mario Bros. This came out even before Nintendo's own Lost Levels, or the true sequel to Super Mario Bros. On the NES, or I should say Japanese Famicom. Now basically what this is a hack of Super Mario Bros. With the levels of Super Mario Bros. Special. They've tried to emulate the color palette, and that's why this looks the way it does. As far as the colors go, this looks how it would have looked like on the Japanese PCs. But obviously it doesn't play like that. It plays like Super Mario Bros. So, beyond the different color palette, this is basically Super Mario Bros. With all new levels. And that's awesome. Like I said, as soon as I saw this, as soon as I heard about this, I wanted to play it myself. And I had a little trouble trying to find the ROM. No one seems to have released this in a ready-to-play ROM file. So you're going to have to patch a Super Mario Bros. ROM to play this. So I'm going to go over the instructions step by step, what you'll need to do that. First and foremost, you're going to need an original Super Mario Bros. ROM file. Obviously, I'm not going to post the link to that. And if you're into emulation, you probably already have that. Also, it goes without saying, you should only do this if you own Super Mario Bros. Now, the second thing you're going to need is, well, one of the IPS Patch files, or basically one of the hacks. I'm going to link two versions. The first one is the one you see here, with the colors that are basically trying to emulate the original Japanese PCs. But there's also an older hack, which uses the original NES Super Mario Bros. Colors. Being an older hack, it may not have all the features this one has, so I would recommend this one. But if you just can't stand the way the colors look on this one, then you can try the other one, and it's got the more traditional Super Mario Bros. Colors. The third thing you're going to need is an IPS patching program. I'm going to link to Lunar IPS. This basically takes your Super Mario Bros. ROM and then applies this hack or this patch to the ROM, making a new ROM file that you will be able to play. Okay, so when you load up Lunar IPS, it's very simple. It's going to ask first where the original ROM is, then it's going to ask where the IPS hack or patch file is, and then it's going to ask to make a new ROM file. Okay, so you'll save the new ROM file, call it Super Mario Bros Special for NES. And fourth thing you're going to need, obviously, is a means to play the ROM file. For most of you, that's going to be an emulator. I'm actually running this on, FCEUX emulator. Obviously, if you use Nesticle or Nestopia, or if you're using, emulation on a Wii, it should work on pretty much any emulator. Or if you've got the ability to flash this on a card, if you've got some sort of an NES flash card you can flash the ROM onto, I'm sure it would work on that as well. So yeah, that's the 4 things you're going to need. I assume, once again, if you're familiar with emulation, this isn't going to be difficult. If you are not familiar with emulation, this is probably too difficult for you to bother with, so I'm sorry. I'm not going to provide you with the ROM. I'm not going to provide you with the Super Mario Bros ROM, and you're just going to have to figure this out for yourself. But like I said, most of you are already into emulation, and it's really not that difficult. Other than that, all I have to say is, this is awesome. It really is like playing Super Mario Bros. For the first time. It's Super Mario Bros. With all new levels, but unlike the Lost levels, they're not too hard. They're really no harder than the original Super Mario Bros. Levels. I mean, personally for me, the Lost levels is way too hard to be fun, and this, on the other hand, is just fun. Anyways, I just thought I would share that. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I have, and see you later.